I've come to realize something. And what I've come to realize is that based on either the background, personality, outlook, or otherwise of an individual, things that are otherwise complained about in media are often overlooked by fan bases and people who enjoy said media if the person or property is amusing in other ways. Now, in case this confused you, I'm going to explain it. Basically, Stan Lee, just as an example, could probably, if ever in his life, probably didn't, but in the state that he was in, could have probably produced schlock. Absolute schlock. Something crappy, something bad. And yet, because he was Stan Lee, it would have still been regarded as amazing. Just like Shakespeare. Even his worst shit, because he's fucking Shakespeare, could be amazing. And then you have people who echo to, people who are trying to get into the biz that, never do this. Never do this. And especially stay away from this. Don't do this trope, this cliche, this storyline, this opening, this blah, 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 blah. And then you have somebody with a title, with a prestige doing it. And then when they do it, it's art. They meant to, come on, it's them, So it's okay for this person of high prestige to do it, but anyone trying to break into, the same thing, stay away from it. Stay away from it. You don't want to be a shit writer, a shit director, a shit this, a crap that. And I seem to notice this with one of the biggest things that this goes up against is Araki and Jojo. And I noticed that even though, and of course, I was going to say even though there's very stereotypical cliche bullshit things in the first Jojo, because I'm going to be talking about Phantom Blood today, because I feel like not enough people talk about Phantom Blood. Everyone is so interested in stands, and everyone loves stands, and stands is so great, and aren't stands fantastic, and let me think of my own stand, and did you come up with a stand, and blah, 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 fucking blah. I want to talk about Phantom Blood. I want to talk about Jojo before it got totally oversaturated with punching ghosts and other kind of ghosts. The original Jojo is cliched out the ass. And one thing that I like about it is, even though it has all those tropes, it's still good. It's still fantastic. I notice a lot of people, like, one of the things I personally love about it is when they were adapting the manga to the anime, a lot of the fight scenes consist of, Jojo fighting, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not sure, it was probably because Araki didn't think his drawings were either that good or that he wasn't good at drawing, poses and fights and whatever, which I could definitely see just based on a few panels of the anatomy of some of the characters really, Araki definitely, like I said, I'm not sure if it's because he was not sure of his ability to draw fight scenes, but you constantly, ever since, what's his name, Speedwagon came into frame, he was always, oh my god, this guy just did this, and then Jonathan did that, and then the bad guy did this, and then Jonathan did that. And it's basically he's spoon-feeding you what's going on in case the pictures aren't doing it for you. And I found that super interesting, and I also noticed that that's something you're told as a writer to never do. It is forbidden! It is absolute, you must never do it! If you do, your hands will be cut from your body and you will be banished from ever writing again. And yet, there's shit like that in media all the time. And yet, it's still in popular shit like, another example, we have Supernatural. One of the biggest, most amazing shows ever. And yet, in the first episode, you are given so much fucking exposition. Like, Dean walks into the room. Hey, I just killed a vampire. Sam walks into a room. Hey, I know we were trained as warriors, and I know our dad trained us from this age, and I know we kill monsters, and I know this is our entire backstory leading up to this, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you about this, too. You didn't ask about it, but I'm going to mention it anyways, and that's our backstory. Okay, let's progress with the rest. And it's just, the exposition just gets thrown at you, and yet, it's a fantastic series. If you were in a writing class and you pulled that shit, your teacher would probably pick you up by the collar and flick you in the nose a couple times, being like, you gonna do that shit again? You're gonna do that shit again? I didn't think so. Out of here. And yet, these super popular series and all these like major things still do it. But because they have the name attached to it, because they have the big bold, oh, it's that guy producing it? Or it's, oh, but it's that series, so it's okay. They get no schlock. Okay, maybe they do get a little schlock from the people like me who actually pick that shit out and bitch about it on a private YouTube channel that nobody watches. But at the same time, it's the same thing when I was in school. And they told me, never start a sentence off with the word and. If you start a sentence off with the word and, whew, you a failure. I'm sorry. You just no, they didn't actually call you a failure, but they just said, don't do it. It's not done. It's not proper. And then I go out and I read these novels. And like 5 times to 8 times in the fucking book, or in these stories, these short stories, because I'm mainly a short story reader as well as writer, it begins off with and. Like, and because. And I'm like, but my teacher said you weren't. For so many years, my teacher said you're not supposed to do that. And yet all these people are doing it. And I'm like, well, fuck. Someone's fucking lying to me. Someone's not telling the truth. And, you know, did you all see that dust fall back? Sorry to totally go off tangent here, but you see that dust fall in the back? It was a ghost. Oh god, that reminds me, I gotta make a video ripping into fucking people who believe in those ghost videos. Shit's so annoying. Hopping right back on track. It just basically pisses me off how someone could someone could do a trope or a cliche or some shit like that, and they're like, oh, you did this, you fucking suck, you're horrible, blah, 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 blah. And then a series could do it, or some well-known person could do it, and it's, oh, but they're famous, or, oh, it's a big deal, so it's okay. It's not okay. If it's shit, it must always remain shit. If it's bad, if it's a cliche, and you're fucking sick of it, then why give it the pass when it's a series you love? Well, obviously because it's a series you love, but I just see it, I just see it as crap. I just see it as like a, what is it called, a two-way street, a one-way street, a catch-22? I don't know the term or phrase used to describe this situation, but it's kind of like, you know, it's like, I could do it to you, but you can't do it to me. Maybe not the same situation. But I assume you get the gist of what I'm talking about. Hopefully. I don't know. Maybe I should stop drinking the coffee. I feel like I'm just getting rambly now. But basically that's what I was trying to go into detail about today. Just because a person's famous or a series is big doesn't mean they could get away with producing schlock, cliches, tropes. Cliches and tropes, pretty sure are the same thing. And lazy writing and exposition. Can't get away with that shit. Call them out on that shit. I've had enough of this. Unless the show's like beginning out, it's in its infancy, then I could definitely understand. But if they're still doing that shit, no. I ain't having it. And my phone keeps going off, so I'm gonna go now. And thank y'all for joining me, sitting through this. Bye-bye.